You can see for yourself the harassment we have to endure, that they cannot wait even for a minute for this conversation to happen.
That one is a senior citizen and assure it.
It's okay, just a moment.
To the humiliating body search that I was subjected to twice, and all members of the legal profession were subjected to. First at the gate, then as we entered the courtroom, another body search. And I'm asking the officers, between the gate and here, and most people have left their briefcases at the gate. What would make them subject us to a second body search? Secondly, I have not yet had audience, the right of audience in court, because I'm not yet licensed to practice in Uganda. I'm expecting a special license to be issued by the Law Council. As it has been indicated, I applied last week. I was informed that they do not process digital applications. So my physical application was brought on Wednesday, and it was taken by the law firm of Lukwago and Company. And it has not yet been processed, but I have been promised by the chair of the Law Council, Justice Mulyangoja, that we may hear from them as early as tomorrow. We have been able to have audience with our client in the court, within the court precincts, and our client was very firm that we ought to apply for adjournment. I should say our clients, not client, so that we can get the answer from the Law Council. You can see for yourself the harassment we have to endure, that they cannot wait even for a minute for this conversation to happen. I want to agree with my colleague, the Lord Mayor, that the abduction of Mr. Besigye and Mr. Lutale from Kenya breaches the Constitution of Kenya, the Constitution of Uganda, and the East African Treaty. I have looked at the charge sheet. The offenses are alleged to have been committed in Kenya, Greece, and Switzerland. Unless if Uganda has annexed Kenya, and we do not know, Ugandan authorities have no jurisdiction whatsoever on anything committed on Kenyan soil. That is, if at all any offense was committed. So we will be raising many objections. I am coordinating Pan-African lawyers from Nigeria, from Kenya, from Ghana, from various jurisdictions, including Tanzania, who will also be applying to practice. As Pan-African lawyers and politicians, we are taking this matter very seriously. We are going to stand in solidarity, and we will file other cases in the East African Community Court, ELIASLUKWAGO, against Kenya and Uganda for their illegal conduct. We will be exploring all legal options, and I'm very hopeful that tomorrow I'll be granted a license to practice in Uganda, and that the Law Council will be ready to process other multiple applications.
Yeah. Indeed, they are going.
Because we have been subjected to some horrendous treatment here by the
forces that that are in charge of this place. Right from the checkpoint, the first checkpoint there, where they subjected us to some thorough search, which was uncalled for, forcing us to leave some of our gadgets there, including vital instruments like handsets, because ordinarily when you go to a court, you must be equipped with all the tools that you need to discharge your duties as counsel. And the phone these days is a computer. And actually, for us, we are modest enough. We do not carry huge gadgets like laptops, iPads, and whatnot. We just wanted to use our phones to be able to make reference to the authorities, the cases, the volumes of laws. You know the huge volumes of laws of Uganda, which you cannot carry here. If you were to do that, it would be truckloads. But in modern times, that is a given. You cannot stop lawyers from accessing the premises of this tribunal with the gadgets. We didn't expect that to arise as an issue. But I don't know why they had to make hair out of that, to make it a little contentious, and they delayed us here. Just a simple matter. And also subjecting our senior counsel here to that demeaning, denigrating, and the embarrassing treatment that they subjected her to. We condemn that in the strongest terms possible. But finally, when we were allowed to access the premises, still there were issues, because in the morning we had to visit the office of the law counsel. Unfortunately, we didn't find even a single senior officer. We just found their cleaners. It was coming to 9 p.m. because we wanted to first, no, it was coming to 9 a.m., sorry. We wanted to first get clearance. You are aware, Senior Counsel Martha Karua, who is the team leader here, submitted in her application for a special practicing certificate last week on 27th, and we had to bring hard copies. And prior to that, soft copies had been forwarded to the Secretary Law Council. And for us, we thought that would be sufficient. They would act on that. We are in a digital age. Unfortunately, they insisted on physical copies, which were delivered on the 27th day of last month. That was Wednesday last week. And it comes as a surprise to us that they were not processed till the weekend. And since we did not hear from them, because they didn't favor us with any response, we gave them a benefit of doubt and said, okay, fine, let's cross-check with them and see if there are outstanding issues they wanted to first handle. So this morning, we made it a point to accompany our senior colleague here to the law council. Unfortunately, nobody was there, as I said. But we managed to talk to the chairperson, Justice Irene Muriagonja, on phone. They had a conversation, a telephone conversation with the senior counsel Martha Karua here. When she assured us that they are working on the application, they are processing the papers, that most probably by tomorrow we may hear from them on the decision they will have taken. The papers were thorough, the application, accompanied by a communication from the Law Society of Kenya and a copy of our practicing certificate, and also an introductory letter from the office of from our law chambers, to which she is attached in accordance with the Section 18 of the Act. So, when we appeared here, our team was not properly constituted in circumstances where the lead counsel had no audience before this court. You are aware it was coming up for ruling on preliminary matters of law that we raised the day they were arraigned before court here. So we could not proceed under those circumstances. When we had the conference and conferred with the accused persons, we agreed that yes, we can have this matter stood over for just one day. We fast track the process of securing this temporary certificate for our council here. Unfortunately, the court could not accommodate us. They have adjourned it to the 7th day. That is, to the 10th day rather, that is next week. Of course, that to us was rather unfair because you know our clients have been incarcerated. Initially, they were in illegal detention under the military courts here. And as you also know, up to now, they have not been properly processed through the immigration. They are still considered to be visitors of Kenya. As we speak today, they are still visitors of Kenya. The immigration of Kenya and Uganda has never cleared them to cross back here. And of course, there are issues of rights. But by and large, the environment we have witnessed here is not conducive, is not concomitant with the dictates of rule of law, good governance, and most importantly, dispensation of justice. So as lawyers, we are determined today, we are only 35 who appeared here, and they had to take us through those rigorous processes of accessing the chambers here, which was really uncalled for. But next time we appear here, the number is going to be much bigger. And it is on that note that I will request our senior counsel, who is our team leader, to brief you on how we are going to proceed as a legal team. I thank you. Olwaleero twesanze nga proceedings teziyinza genda maaso. Ekisookera ddala tuvumirira ne sekuvumirira empisa gye batuyisizzaamu wano nga balooya n'abantu baffe. Tugende maaso. Empisa gye batuyisizzaamu ne batandika okusaakinga buli omu, ne batuggyako amasimu gaffe nga batulemesa, ng'ate kooti ebeera open. Omugenyi waffe ng'ate senior counsel Honorable Martha Karua ne bamuyisa mu mbeera eyo gye bamuyisizzaamu. Naye twesanze era nga tetuyinza kugenda maaso kubanga certificate ye ebadde tennavaayo. Twateekamu okusaba mu law council empapula ne tebannamaliza zi processinga. Okusaba twakuteekayo wiiki ewedde nga 27. Olwaleero bwe twogeddeko ne judge ku ssimu, tubaddeyo mu law council naye nga taliyo, ne twogera naye ku ssimu n'atukakasa nti enkya bayinza okumaliriza process eno, certificate bagimuwe era emirimu gitandike. Naye olwaleero omusango gwongeddwayo paka ng'ennaku z'omwezi 10. Tugenda kumaliriza nga senior counsel bw'abannyonnyodde wano. Enteekateeka zaffe empanvu, tugenda kuŋŋaanya bamupuliida. Honorable Martha Karua tumwebaza, akulembeddemu ttiimu eno. Olwaleero be mulabyeko 35 ab'e Uganda. Kaakati kugenda kweyongerako ttiimu yonna nga gy'abannyonnyodde. Already yacontactinze edda ab'e Ghana, Nigeria, yacontactinze edda aba Tanzania, abagenda okuva e Kenya bangi, abagenda okuva e Zambia, abagenda okuva mu platform mu fraternity eyo eya Pan-African Lawyers nene abagenda okujja wano. So law council yeetegeke okubanga processinga certificates nyingi ng'etandikira ku ya Honorable Martha Karua, kubanga tiimu yaffe tugisuubira okubeera very very solid. So twebaza nnyo ne sekwebaza senior counsel waffe Honorable Martha Karua obuvumu bwonna bw'ayolesezza okumuyisa mu mbeera eno gye bamuyisizzaamu ng'eyo, okumutwala ng'ekyonziira bwe bati, okumuyisa mu mbeera embi ennyo, ekyoboola ekitiibwa kye n'okumukkakkanya. Senior counsel asigala senior counsel, former minister n'ebirala byonna ebitiibwa byalina e Kenya. Naye ekyo party leader owa ODM e Kenya, NAC Kenya rather, party leader owa NAC e Kenya, ne bamuyisa mu mbeera eno gye bamuyisizzaamu. Kituswazizza nnyo nga Uganda, kituyisizza bubi nnyo. Amagye ge Uganda gatuwadde ekifaananyi kibi nnyo nnyo nnyo. Naye kye tumwebazaamu nti asigadde muvumu, tatiisibwa n'akamu n'aketondo era mumalirivu nnyo nnyini ddala okunga balooya bonna okuva ku lukalu lwa Afirika lwonna okujja wano era tusuubiranga 10 ekigenda okubeera wano. Mukama Katonda yakimanyi, amagye era gatwetegekere. Lwe tukomawo nga 10 tukomawo nga tumaliridde, so batwetegekere. Law Council tugisaba police ebirala byonna babiteeke ebbali ba processing applications z'abantu baffe, certificate z'abantu baffe amangu ddala nga bwe kisoboka. Eya Honorable Martha Karua tugisuubira enkya okubanga ewedde, then tutandike ku z'abalala abagenda okuyiika wano endulundu okuva ku lukalu lwa Afirika.
Timo. Abu. Timo.